On to Punjab now. The tussle between Haryana and Punjab over the control of Chandigarh continues. The Haryana government has now called a special session of the State Assembly today to discuss the long-pending demand to transfer Chandigarh back to Haryana and the transfer of Hindi-speaking areas to the state. This comes days after neighbouring Punjab government sought immediate transfer of the Union Territory of Chandigarh to the Aam Aadmi Party-ruled state and also passed a resolution on the same.
Meanwhile, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar lashed out at the Aam Aadmi Party government for raising these divisive and controversial issues after just being in office for a few days. He also said that the Chandigarh issue should be resolved together through talks. Let's listen in.
पानी की बात करते हैं। एक तरफ पानी हमसे वो मांग रहे हैं, जो मांगेंगे तो पानी हमको देंगे तो मांगेंगे, दूसरे तरफ वो देने की बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, उस विषय को नहीं छेड़ रहे। हिंदी भाषी इलाका 400 से ऊपर गांव, जो कई आयोग ये कह चुके हैं कि अगर इन समस्याओं का हल करना है तो पंजाब को पहले ये करना पड़ेगा। वो गांव देने की बात करते हैं, फिर बात चंडीगढ़ की आती है और चंडीगढ़ का विषय आपस में बैठ करके रिजॉल्व करने का है। यूनिलेटरली ऐसा कोई असेंबली में पास करने का है, इस प्रकार का नहीं है। आते ही सत्ता आए हुए 4 दिन नहीं हुए, इस प्रकार के कंट्रोवर्शियल इश्यूज को उठाना, मुझे लगता है जरूर इसमें कोई ना कोई उनका छुपा हुआ कोई मकसद है और छुपे मकसद को जनता समझेगी, खास करके पंजाब की जनता जरूर समझेगी और उनके इस प्रकार के मकसद को कभी हम पूरा होने नहीं देंगे। चंडीगढ़ पंजाब की, हरियाणा की, दोनों की राजधानी पहले भी थी, आज भी है, आगे भी।
भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा कहते हैं कुर्बानी देनी पड़ेगी तो कुर्बानी दे देंगे चंडीगढ़ के लिए। कल कहा है
तो पूरा प्रदेश की जनता, सत्ता के सब लोग, चाहे विपक्ष के हैं चाहे पक्ष के हैं, सब इस मामले में एक है।
Haryana ML Khattar saying that when they are not giving us, why they are demanding us. Do we expect such type of resolution to discuss about the water share in the coming session today?
Let us see what the resolution moved by the government. We will be discussing on the resolution. We will get.
But sir, do you think that Aam Aadmi Party is doing politics on such issues because long pending issues and the day they have come into power, they had brought this resolution?
You see, the Punjab government has made so many promises to the people of Punjab. Now they are shrinking away from these issues and they are trying to befool the people by putting such like issues which are long pending, you can say, since last 50 years. In 96, this Longowal Accord was now you can say since long it's pending. These types of issues now they have raised to only to जो लोगों के जो ध्यान है वो दूसरी तरफ भटकाने के लिए ये इशू जो है रेज किया गया।
सर एक लास्ट सवाल है, not as a Vidhan Sabha speaker, but we have seen that there is a lot of law and order disturbance in Punjab for the last so many days. Do you think that Aam Aadmi Party had failed to control law and order situation?
नहीं, that's why I am telling कि जो issues जो उन्होंने पंजाब की जनता के साथ जो वायदे किए थे, चाहे वो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को लेकर के था, चाहे वो भूमाफिया को लेकर के था, चाहे वो करप्शन को लेकर के था, आज वो उन इश्यूज के ऊपर वो सफल होती नजर नहीं आ रही। इसीलिए लोगों का ध्यान डाइवर्ट करने के लिए इस प्रकार का इशू जो है वो रेज किया गया।
और काउंटर रेजोल्यूशन आएगा आज?
हाँ, देखिए ये सरकार क्या रेजोल्यूशन लेकर के आती है, ये लेटर।
और आज सिर्फ सेशन जो एक दिन का होगा?
हाँ, ये आज वैसे तो एक दिन का सेशन हमने कॉल किया है, अभी कुछ ही पलों के अंदर बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी की मीटिंग होगी। It will be decided in that meeting.
So, well, we can see that Haryana Vidhan Sabha Speaker has made it very clear whatever resolution the government will send to the assembly, they will definitely discuss. But one thing is very clear, the contentious issue about the claim on Chandigarh, that will come up and it will be discussed at the length, because we have seen that a few days back, Punjab government has passed a resolution saying that Punjab has a right over the Chandigarh, and that had prompted Haryana government to call this special assembly session in Haryana to discuss at length. With Vijay Yashpal Singh, this is Group Singh China for Times Now, Chandigarh.
Right, Gurpreet, thank you so much for that report there and also interviews that you are picking and taking from on ground. This is about the Chandigarh conundrum, which is back in the, forecast. In fact, a lot of people have been talking about how that entire jostling for actually claiming Chandigarh continues when it comes to the Punjab and the Haryana government. There is another session there, that is a special session that's now being called by the Haryana government after the Punjab government, Bhagwant Mann specifically, called for that session in the assembly. Now we have the Haryana government also doing the same. What can be expected? What are you picking from on ground?
Well, yes, of course. We have seen that a few days back, Punjab government had passed a resolution where they say that they have a claim on Chandigarh, and after that, we have seen Haryana government has also been proactive. So many statements from the various leaders of Haryana that have started pouring in the day when they had just passed the resolution claiming that they have a claim on Chandigarh. So we have seen today, we have interacted with Vidhan Sabha Speaker. He has already said yes, such type of issue is going to be brought by the state government, and they have already decided. When it was decided in 1985 by Rajiv Gandhi and Longowal Accord, which has been executed between both the leaders, and it was decided that Hindi speaking areas will be shifted to Haryana, and at the same time, if Chandigarh, they wanted, the Punjab government wanted to take Punjab, but Hindi speaking areas should be given to Haryana. And at the same time, SYL issue dispute that was going on between both the states about the distribution of water, that is also long pending. It has already reached to the Supreme Court, where it has already been asked to both the government sit and decide on these issues. So keeping in view of all these things, they have decided to hold a special one-day session where they are going to discuss about the water SYL issue, especially water division between both the states. At the same time, the way they say that the Punjab government has already passed a resolution saying that they have a claim over the Chandigarh, they will also try to bring a resolution that they want that if they want to implement it, that accord, Rajiv Gandhi Longowal Accord, which has been executed in 1985, then they should fulfill all the formalities of that accord, and Hindi speaking areas should be shifted to Haryana. So let's see, because once this resolution will come in the assembly, and after that there will be a marathon discussion, because one day special session has been called by the Haryana government. So the things will be getting unfolded once this resolution will be brought in the session, and there will be a discussion. But as of now, when we interacted the Haryana Vidhan Sabha Speaker, he has already made it very clear on these lines. The government has already decided, and why they had called this session today, because a few days back, within 2-3 days back, we have seen that Punjab government had called a special session where they had passed the resolution. After that, it was prompted to the Haryana government to discuss about their own rights, and we have already seen that the Chief Minister of Haryana, ML Khattar, has already given a very strong statement where he has already said that if Bada Bhai, that they are representing Punjab as a Bada Bhai, if they are not going to give their share, then they know that Chota Bhai kaise fight karna chahta hai. So all these things will be discussed, and this will be very storming session today, because they are these are the contentious issue of between both the states, Punjab and Haryana, that will be discussed. So let's see that what type of resolution they will be brought in, and how the Congress and other parties within the session they are going to react. Back to studio.
Right, Gurpreet, thank you so much for getting us all those details. It will be interesting to see what really transpires in Haryana Assembly today, and how this entire controversy between Bada Bhai and Chota Bhai, that is Punjab and Haryana, shapes up in the next few days. For now, we are slipping into a very short break.